Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Iconic Dollcast. My name is Sage. Welcome back to another episode all about dolls. Today, I am talking with Lazaro, and we are going to revisit Disney limited edition dolls because why not? Honestly, these are some of my favorite dolls ever, so I'm super excited to have Lazaro on the show just to talk a little bit more about Disney dolls. If you haven't yet, please check out my episode with Ian when we talked about Disney limited edition dolls last year, but we're gonna get into that today. But before that, you guys, I just went to the Denver Doll and Toy Show, Toy and Doll Show. I don't know which order it goes in. It is an annual event. I went last year and was absolutely just mind blown and so excited. And I went back this year. It did happen a little bit earlier than it did last year, and it was at a new venue. And so, I mean, basically, it's exactly what it sounds like, a doll and toy show. It's a huge like convention, and people are selling Barbies, dolls, action figures, so many, any toy you can imagine. Except, I do have to say, I spent about 3 hours at this place, and I did not see a single Britney Spears doll or a single Spice Girl doll, which really blew my mind. Just, I mean, considering I find them in thrift stores all the time, I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. You walk around and God, the things I saw, it was so amazing. So let me just backtrack a little bit. So like I said, it was last year it was at this hotel that is literally maybe like 5 minutes from my house. It was so convenient. But this year, I think they moved to a bigger venue. It was a different hotel and it was about 45-ish minutes away. So that kind of sucked. And oh my gosh, parking was terrible. It took me at least 25 minutes to park, and I did hear some people talking as I was walking in, and it's definitely something everyone noticed and was complaining about. But whatever, I'm not really a big deal. I'm just, so excited to go into this doll show. So I walk in and I totally had a plan because I mean these things are really hard to cover, and I wanted to see everything, so I decided, okay, all right, I'm gonna do like the perimeter first, then I'm gonna go through the different aisles, and so the first time I did that, it worked really well. I feel like I saw a lot of stuff, and because I wanted to go through and see what I wanted to buy before I started buying anything, because at these doll shows, I mean, you could see something for $55 somewhere and then it's like $6 somewhere else. And I had an amazing find, which I'll tell you about in a second. But I got done with the first round. I saw this cut and style Barbie that I was like, oh, I'm going to come back and look for that. And so I decide, all right, we're gonna go for round two. And so I was like, maybe I'll just go backwards. But no, I was like, I just saw a lot of this stuff. I wanna, have fresh eyes on everything I missed the first time. And so I started with the perimeter again. And then I guess I just decided, I was like, oh, I've already gone through it once. I can start, getting lost and going different ways. I'm gonna see everything anyways. And oh my gosh, highly do not recommend ever doing that. I just got so confused. I kept going down the same rows like multiple times, just like so confused. And then I was like, all right, fuck it. Like I'm going to start getting stuff because I have no idea where I am. And I was like, all right, here's how we're going to start over. I'm going to find that cut and style Barbie. I want to get her for sure. And I was also on the lookout for a Totally Hair Barbie, a Totally Hair Ken, especially Ken. I've always wanted that. And so those two were up on my list. And I wanted to get one of those like Dolls of the World dolls from the 90s. I wanted to find the Norway one just so I could give it to my grandma. And so I found her first. And I was like, all right, I'm going for it. Bought her. Then I'm like, all right, back on the journey for cut and style Barbie, because I think that's the other thing I want to get. I didn't have high hopes about Totally Hair Barbie. Anyway, I'm going through this place and I swear, like I said, I'm just going up and down and then like getting lost somehow and going up the same rows, and I could not find this cut and style Barbie. And I was like, I guess someone got her, because I'm not kidding you guys. I was searching for this for like an hour. I was convinced it was in like it basically it was after I went around the first time. It was at the end. It was one of the last things I saw, but somehow I convinced myself that it was earlier. So I was convinced it was in this one side of this convention center hall. I was so wrong. After about an hour 20 minutes, I finally found her, and it was at like where I ended way before, and I just couldn't believe it. And the other cool thing about these doll shows is you can bargain, and I don't usually feel comfortable bargaining. I feel like it's so awkward, but this lady wanted, I think, $75 for it. And I was looking at her, and she was like, "Oh, are you like, do you want to get that?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I will pay you $45 for this, which is even still a lot." And she said, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right, cool. I got this Norway Barbie. I got cut and style Barbie, but I was like, oh, I want to be here for at least 3 hours." And then I turn around, and there is a totally hair Ken and a totally hair Barbie. And my eyes just went straight to it, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, that's the other things I wanted." And I go up to it, and this girl like picks up the totally hair Barbie, and I was like, "No." So I snatched Ken real fast, and I hear the seller talking to this girl saying, "Oh yeah, those are all the Barbies are $20 a piece." And I was like, "You're kidding me." I was like, "All right, well, at least I'm getting Ken because it looks like this girl's gonna get Barbie," but she put it back. And I was like, "Oh my God." So I got them, and I go up to this lady, and I was like, "You said 20 a piece for these?" And she said, "Yeah." And then she totally knew, like, "Oh, wait, I should probably be charging more for this." Cause, like, I don't know, maybe a lot of people were asking her about it. I don't know. But she was like, "Yeah, okay, 40, it's fine." She was like, "That's probably what I paid for them when I got them in the 90s." And I was like, "Mm-hmm." I did end up giving her her $50 just to, cause I don't know. I don't know, but that's the best thing. Like, you can bargain for things, and you can just find things for just the most amazing price. And anyway, long story short, I got what I wanted. And I had a great time, other than being so frustrated that I was lost. But yeah, it was great, and I highly recommend going to a doll or toy show if there is ever one in your area, because it's super fun. So anyway, can't wait for next year's. I'll definitely be there. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I could totally do like a little mini stand of Britney Spears custom dolls, but we'll see. We'll see. That's a pretty big commitment. But anyway, I think I talked about how I got like the Mattel Creations 65th anniversary Barbie, and I did get blonde Barbie, even though I told myself I wasn't going to, but then I just caved and got her. So I was kind of, I'm not feeling regretful, but I really wanted the African American version, and I think they call this sculpt the Brooklyn face sculpt. It's so hard for me to keep track, but she's really pretty, and I just thinking about it, I was kind of like, oh, I wish I would have got that one instead. And so the other day, I was just running some errands, and I decided to run into Barnes and Noble, and I totally forgot that Mattel Creation, like sometimes they get those. Like I just always forget you can't only get this stuff online when they drop their like limited edition stuff or their signature member stuff, whatever. I always forget that Barnes and Noble sometimes gets those in. And I go into Barnes and Noble, and I was trying to find. Oh, I was gonna see how much that Margot Robbie Barbie book was. Too expensive for me to pay at Barnes and Noble. Whatever. I just anyway, and I decided to go check out the toy section, because of course, who am I? And I go over there, and they have this Brooklyn 65th anniversary Barbie right there for me, and I was like, shit. Like I just totally forgot you could get that kind of stuff there. And so, oh, I bought her. No regrets. They look so cute next to each other. I love it. I also got one of the new Fashionista 65th anniversary dolls. It's the only one I've seen in the wild, and it is not one of the ones inspired by past iconic Barbie looks. It's that new one when she's wearing like the pink and white and black. It's supposed to be like, 1959 Barbie esque. So I did get her. It's the only new one I've seen in stores as of today. It is April 2nd. But yeah, I got that. I also got these really cool, those like mystery bag clips? Like they're everywhere. All the kids have them and they're so cool and I'm obsessed with them. The Little Mermaid movie, when that came out last summer, they had some of these. And I mean, if you don't know what it is, it's just they're blind bags. You're going to get something from this movie or whatever or character. You just don't know which one you're going to get. And sometimes some are harder to get than others. I am the worst. I mean, I got all the Little Mermaid ones. It took me forever. I spent way too much money on them. And then today, because I just love a mystery, I just love the thrill. And it's so annoying when you get something twice or three times, but I just love it. And so I knew that they were going to have these Barbie themed ones come out. And this morning I was at Target and I was just browsing and it was pretty early and there was a huge cart of things that needed to get put out. And I see the box of these Barbie bag clips. And I didn't think these were going to come out so quickly because I'd seen them on Instagram maybe a week or two ago. And I asked the lady who was stocking all this stuff, and I was like, are you gonna put these out? And she was like, yeah, but you can just go through them. People, some people have taken some already. And I was like, oh shit. So I look, and there was, I think, nine left. And I asked her, I said, hey, I'm gonna buy all of these. Can I just have this box too? And she was like, yeah, totally, take it. And so I got those, and it was awesome. A lot of times you get repeats of these, and they're really, really iconic Barbie looks. I love it. The first time through, I got all different ones, and I got both of the ones that I wanted, which was Totally Hair Barbie and 1959 Barbie. So that was cool. And then I was at Target. I had to go back to Target, so I went to another one. I had to get some groceries, and I got a couple more because that Target also had them out, and I think I got them all. And it's such a scam. Like they charge so much for these, but I love it, and that's all that matters. So I thought that was really cool. And I also found the reproductions or re-releases of Strawberry Shortcake and Rainbow Bright at Walmart the other day. So I did end up getting those. I got the little tiny ones. I just thought they were so cute. And so I talked about Strawberry Shortcake last year on the podcast. And it's honestly, I'm pretty sure it's one of my top most listened to episodes. If you haven't, check it out. But I didn't have a Strawberry Shortcake doll. So I definitely wanted to get her. And then also they did Rainbow Bright. And later on in this season of Iconic Dollcast, I will be talking about Rainbow Bright. I did a really great interview about her. So I had to get her. So those were really cool. And I don't know. Lately, I've been so obsessed with action figures, and it's sort of becoming a problem because I'm a doll guy. I like dolls, but I was on another guy's podcast. His name is Damien. His podcast is called Bichiatry. Definitely go check out that. He's amazing. He's so fun. And I was telling him about how I was getting into these Batman figures, and because the new ones and action figures today are incredible. And I also really love Batman the animated series, and so McFarlane, I'm pretty sure, yes, that's what it's called. They're putting out all these characters, and I have to have them all, and I'm just loving finding them and hunting them down because that's what I do. And I guess there's another wave of them coming this summer, and Poison Ivy is a part of it, so I'm pretty excited for that. But definitely spending a lot more attention on action figures this week. Okay, so today we are talking about Disney dolls. I have Lazaro on the show. Please check out his Instagram. You can find him at A Dose of Disney. Just type that in on search and he will come up. We're talking about limited edition dolls mostly. We talk about limited edition dolls that should be made. Personally, I definitely think just after doing this interview, I really thought about it. We talk about some cool ones, but for sure Vanessa needs another one. I think Lady Tremaine needs one from Cinderella. And I don't think they've done Snow White in a while. And I think another one that people are really rooting for is Jane from Tarzan. I think they should do the stepsisters from Cinderella as well. So I'm super into Cinderella today, I guess. Not sure about what's going on with that. And you know what? Also, the fairy godmother from Cinderella should really get a limited edition 17-inch doll from Disney. Like, come on. That would be incredible. But yeah, we are going to talk about that. We're going to just talk about why Disney dolls are so amazing, our thoughts on Disney movies. I think we talked a little bit about Funko Pops too, which is cool. But before that, please, if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, Britney Spears Custom Dolls or Iconic Dollcast. You can follow me on TikTok at Britney Spears Dolls. And if you want to be in the show, please send me a DM. Let's chat. Let's talk about dolls. Let's get something going. I love talking with you guys. But other than that, please, here is my interview with Lazaro all about Disney limited edition dolls. All right, guys, today I have Lazaro on the show, and Lazaro runs the Instagram account A Dose of Disney, which is very cool. And I've done Disney before, and I'm super excited to revisit it with him today. So, Lazaro, thank you for being on the show. And before we get into all things Disney, can you introduce yourself to everyone? Give me a little background on yourself, all that fun stuff.
Oh, thank you for having me. My name is Lazaro. I run A Dose of Disney, which is an account that I created from my passion for Disney and my love for crafting and photography. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I'm recently relocated to New England temporarily. We'll see how things go up here. And yeah, I've been collecting the Disney dolls for a while now, and it all started with Funko Pops. So I have a pretty big collection of both.
Okay, so I went through a really big phase of Funko Pops as well. Um, it's so addicting. I can't, I
Yeah.
could not stop. And I still buy them if it's something like super necessary that I have to get, but I totally feel that. So what year did you say, or I mean, you might not have, when did you start getting into the whole limited edition Disney dolls?
The limited edition Disney dolls, I started getting into them well, I bought the first ones in 2021. So I guess during the pandemic. But I actually got into them because I had bought some for my friend that a release came out, and since I was working from home, I was able to buy it online for her. When I received them, I was just blown away by how well they were made and the size that they had, and I was just like, oh, this is something that I could be into. Then I started doing more research into it, starting to see the prices and how the prices had gone up and their value, and I was very interested in it. And then one thing led to another, and now I have a full-blown collection.
That's how it goes. And yes, I mean, the limited edition Disney dolls are some of the best dolls ever, in my opinion. I think they do so well with them. But what what's the first Disney movie you ever saw?
The first Disney movie I can remember ever seeing was probably either The Little Mermaid or Alice in Wonderland.
Two of my favorites. Those are very good.
Yeah.
And which was the first Disney doll that you got?
Well, when I was little, my mom bought dolls for me. So
Amazing.
I was able, like, I played with Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and also dolls. I mainly only had Disney dolls. My stepsisters had some of the Barbie dolls, and, I'd snatch one or two. Um, but technically my first Disney doll was actually Jasmine, because it was right around the time that Aladdin had come out, and I got like the Aladdin doll, and then I told my mom, I was like, well, I need Jasmine.
Of course.
So so I had like the set, and then as it went going on, like I got some of the other princesses, and when Pocahontas came out and Mulan, I had like the whole set. And I really enjoyed how in like the 90s and the early 2000s, like they had like nice sets that came out. It wasn't like just a doll. It was like the little tent for Pocahontas, and the little carpet for Jasmine, and also like Tarzan had little like kits and sets that you would be able to play around with more than just a doll.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think we probably grew up in the same era, because I definitely had a bunch of those as well. And I mean, one that stands out very vividly in my mind is I had this Pocahontas that you could like put her in the sun and like all of these like decorations would like appear on her costume. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, yeah, I had that one too.
Yeah, and of course I mean, Little Mermaid's my favorite, Ariel's my favorite. I had tons of that, and I think I had like a swimsuit edition of Aladdin and Jasmine. And they did, I mean, what was so cool is like, I mean, they still, I mean, today Disney does get pretty creative with their doll releases, especially their limited edition ones. But I just love and have so many fond memories as a kid with all the like fun offshoots that they would do that, you know, costumes that weren't necessarily from the movies. They were more like inspired by the movies. So I definitely feel you on that one. Just great memories with those. And then now, I mean, do you have any of your dolls from when you were a kid still?
I still have some. My mom probably has them. I've rebought Hercules and an Ariel doll, but other than that, it's just the 17 inches. And to answer your question from before, the first 17-inch doll that I got was the Evil Queen, because I had told myself originally, like, okay, I'm only going to collect villains because I like villains the most. And then I just went down the rabbit hole, and here I am again.
Yeah, you can't stop once you've started. I
Yeah.
used to, well, you, I mean, obviously, you know, and I'm sure it's a something you can relate to how sad it was. I mean, all the Disney stores in my area are closed now. I mean, you have to order them online, and I'm so bummed about it because I had one that was only about like maybe like 5, 6 miles away, and I'd go every other weekend and just go through that. And I mean, Disney store especially. I mean, with these limited edition dolls specifically. I mean, these dolls are immaculate, but I feel like their classic dolls and their regular size dolls are also pretty well done. I think the Disney
Yeah.
store especially puts a lot of effort into their dolls. Even when they're a little bit cheaper than others, I still feel like they top everything else. But with that being said, I will say, and I want to talk about this a little bit later, I feel like Mattel regaining the rights to Disney Princess has actually been pretty incredible. And I'd be interested
Yeah.
to see if they start doing some bigger dolls with, you know, a higher price range and all that stuff, because they've really been killing it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. And I feel like they kind of are already doing higher price Disney dolls.
Oh yeah, and like collector's editions and all that stuff. But so
Yeah.
far, they have not beat out, in my opinion, just the Disney Store's limited edition dolls. I mean, they're amazing. So that's obviously what your collection mostly consists of. And I know that these, I mean, I only have a couple of them. I have an Elsa, I have Ariel, like cartoon Ariel, live action Ariel, and I think I have an Aurora from the parks that I got one time. But as far as the 17-inch dolls go, that's just kind of where, I mean, otherwise I'd just be spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm already doing that. So I'm trying to restrain myself. But I mean, I went through a big phase with Disney dolls, just with the regular ones. I had to get all the villains, had to get all the side characters, just everything. And sometimes they make their stuff very limited and exclusive. And sometimes those price ranges really can go up. I mean, if you're trying to get like, oh, let me think of a good one, like Cinderella's stepsisters, you have to pay like
Yeah.
like $200 just for those because they only came in like a large pack. But anyway, um, with your Disney collection, with the big dolls, like I said, a lot of them are very limited. What was the hardest one for you to get so far?
The hardest to get from the Disney store, or from like online, like eBay or
Let's go with Disney Store. Which one, like when it came out, you were like, shit, like,
well, I've been lucky that I've been successful with all the ones from the Disney store that I've wanted. The one that gave me the most trouble was Alice, which was actually the second doll that I bought from the Disney store. She came out as a pre-order, and I was new to it, so I was like, "Oh, okay, this is just what happens." And I remember everyone in the community was like, "This isn't normal." And then I was able to purchase it. She sold out. Then, like a couple of weeks later, she came back out, and people still people who didn't purchase her purchased her, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna have two, so that's fine. When they started shipping out the orders, they shipped out the orders of everyone who purchased the second time around, and the first time around people like me got canceled.
Oh no.
And so I had to call Shop Disney, and I was like, no, no, I ordered it before. And it was like a lot of back and forth, but luckily they were able to ship me one out. So I did get her, but that was like the only one that I really had like a struggle with from the Disney store. When it comes to like the older ones, the third party ones, I always gave myself a budget for each one. And the one that gave me the hardest to go for was D23 Vanessa,
Oh,
because everyone wanted like a really like a high price for her, and I was like, okay, I'm only going to pay this much. So I just, reach out to all the sellers and give them my what I'm willing to pay, and if they were ever willing to go down to that price, then I was there ready to go. And luckily I did find someone after a while, and it was actually a meetup in person, which was cool to do that. So you have to you cut out the shipping process, which could be stressful.
oh, definitely. And I mean, I just think I haven't had any super hard experiences with that either, but only because I just only have a few of them. But I will say I talked about this in the other episode, but I'm just going to talk about it again because it is my like one stressful story with these is when that Ariel came out. I think it was like 2019, maybe
Yeah.
2018. I don't know. She's
No,
gorgeous. And
2019.
Vanessa came out with her. Um,
Yeah.
I like was like, okay, if I don't think I had any at that point. And I was like, all right, I want to get this. Like, I'm prepared. I went to the Disney store early, and my store still did the like ticket thing, like where at this point where you'd have to get like a number or something and they'd
Hmm.
call you. And I just remember being like, what the fuck? What do you okay? Like, I'm here. And now you're telling me I might not even get this doll, but I didn't know that they were going to have Vanessa either. I just was not locked in to all that information at the time. And I just remember I got my ticket and they started calling numbers and like this guy walked out with a Vanessa and I was like, "What? Oh my god." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I had to like be like, all right, which one do I want? Which one do I want? I ended up getting Ariel because the Disney store was like, well, we only got two Vanessas. And I was like, well, shit, I didn't even know, like, whatever. Um, but it's interesting that that's how it used to go down because now, I mean, everything is obviously online ordering. And do you ever feel stressed out about online ordering because you don't get to see what you're getting beforehand?
Yes. And I'm the kind of person that will go through like all of them and see which one's the best one, even though I do debox. So I'm a little bit better with it now after being like a full blown deboxer, you could say. But when I started off and I would only collect on like that, I would collect and leave them in the boxes, I would ask the seller to like send me multiple pictures. And if I bought it from Shop Disney, I was like, well, whatever I get, I get, you get what you get and you don't get upset. But especially when it's sold out, like if it's not sold out, then you could always call them and say, hey, can you send me another one? This one's damaged or whatever. And you just ship it back and they'll send you another one. But more than likely, all of these sell out pretty quickly, especially if they're popular. Like the last doll that I got from them was this Elsa that you see back here with the Anna, the set. That set sold out like 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, you have to be quick with some of them. I was surprised that the live action Ariel didn't go as fast as I mean, I was up and I was ready to go because I was like, well, they all sell out so damn quick. And I will say that is one that I got her and she looked really good, but her like top wasn't sewn correctly. So I had
Mm-hmm.
to, and then they were like, well, you have to send it back and then we'll send you a new one. And I just was not willing to do that. So I mean, just because I do custom stuff with dolls all the time, I was like, I think I can fix her. But I was so annoyed because I'm like, I paid like $200+ for this. This should not be happening. And I just
Yeah.
feel like ever since the stores, and I was just talking with someone about American Girl. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but it's kind of the same thing. All the stores have closed. And so now you order things online and then you get them. And with the American Girl, I mean, a lot of them sold out. So if you got one that was not correct unless you really wanted to
Yeah.
go out of your way and raise hell with them. And even if you did, it didn't always work out for some people. I mean, they were like, well, we don't have any more. So we can refund you if you send it back, but we can't send you a new one. And I think with the closure of all these stores, especially for doll collectors, that's been a big, it's impacted people in a way that I don't know that they really thought about very well.
Yeah, I feel like, at least in my opinion, it's made me appreciate the time that we did have with that. And then it's also kind of loosen it up a little, like taking the stress of like it has to be perfect and just kind of like accept that some of them won't be coming perfect, and that they're all different. And you just so happen to get the one with the wonky eye.
It's the worst when that happens, but
Yeah.
what can you do, right? In your collection, I was just getting ready for this interview. I was looking at just the collectible value of some of the ones that I have, and that Ariel is like $2,000, and I would never sell her. She's like my favorite doll ever, but it's just incredible. And like that Vanessa one, I talk about her all the time. It's like on my grail list of dolls that I know because I will not spend $1,000 on a doll. But I always talk about it. She's on my list though. But like collectible value, who would you say is your most how would you say like your most collectible doll that you have?
Value wise or like
Yeah,
rare?
value wise.
Value wise, I would probably say Vanessa D23.
But she has
Um,
a different skin tone, right, than the one that they put in the stores.
yeah, she has, it's right there.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, she's got like a pearlescent type of shine to it, which doesn't make photography that great. Especially when you're trying to get like the lighting correct because it just like reflects. And she's got purple in her hair. She's got more hair. She comes with a cape, and her dress is a little bit different, which I like that they did that. That they gave us like a different version. I would have actually preferred them giving us a newer Ursula as a D23 exclusive, and then have the Vanessa, because like the differences aren't like that huge for you to like be like, oh, this is a D23. Like for Ariel, they gave the regular release was Mermaid Ariel, and then the D23 one is the pink dress Ariel,
Mm-hmm.
which I would love to have, but I can't justify that $4,000 or $2,000 price ticket.
Right.
I can't. For anyone that can, by all means,
Good for
congratulations.
you. Yeah, no,
Good for you.
I love dolls. I collect dolls. I'm obsessed with dolls, but sometimes I do have to just draw the line because it's like, okay, well, I could spend, $2,000 on this one doll, or I could spend $2,000 on like 15 dolls. So that's generally
Right.
the route that I go. But yeah, no, I know that specifically that Vanessa one is just way, way up there. It's insane.
That I have would be Vanessa. In general, I think it would be the D23 Ariel is the most expensive
Amazing.
because she is the most rare.
Okay, and who would you say who's your favorite Disney princess? Do you have a favorite?
Favorite Disney princess is Snow White.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why?
Personally, because she's not, the movie isn't like all that. It's the first Disney, animated movie. So it's not all that great storyline. But to me, she's just the kindest one. And, no matter what she goes through, she's still kind and sweet and helpful and will do anything for her friends. And that's just something that's how I live. So I relate to Snow White.
I
And
love that.
I think that she's like the most innocent, one out of all of them. But when it comes to Disney princess movies, I would say Sleeping Beauty is my favorite
Very
because I feel
cool.
like that animation was very strong for that time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I love Little Mermaid. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100 more. I
Yeah.
also really enjoy Alice and Sleeping Beauty. I think is really excellent. And I love Beauty and the Beast. I mean, I love them all. I mean, I know for the most part, people connect me with Britney Spears, and that's amazing. And I love it. It's the best. But I also really love Disney movies. I I can't even describe it. I wish I was rich, because if I was, I would be buying so much more of these 17-inch dolls, because they do represent these movies so well. They're so beautifully done. And I love how they get creative with their detailing. It's never just like what,
Yeah,
it's not like, I mean, how boring would a 17-inch Ariel doll be if she just looked like she came out of the screen? You know what I mean? They always add like the
right.
coolest little relevant detailing on them, and I love it so much. But with that being said, I think you just said you got that Anna and Elsa set that came out. I see them.
Yeah.
I am so over them, and I love Frozen, but I think I was talking to Ian. I'm sure it was him who told me that, whatever doll licensing contract stuff is out there for Frozen, like they can't really do what they do with the other girls to them. Like they have to keep their costumes pretty similar to the movies, which I think is so interesting. But I mean, they put out a new set of Anna and Elsa dolls like every year, I swear. Like there's always something new. I'm like multiple times a year. And I'm just like, it sucks that they can't. I would love them to get more creative on them, because I'm just so bored with the way they look. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, like some concept art would be cool, which is what I kind of thought was going to happen this time around. And then the Snow Queen Elsa is the original one is really expensive. And I couldn't justify it. So I had another one, which I still do have, but I don't like to collect. Like, I don't like to have two of the same character.
Oh,
I
that's
want just
good.
like, yeah. So I'm very specific. So I'm very good with my collection. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, if I'm going to spend a little bit more on one, that's fine. Cause I'm just going to have that one. Like I have the Sax Cinderella. I only want the Sax Cinderella. I'm good. I don't need
Oh,
another
she's
one.
up
Like I
there
don't need,
too.
she's up there, but she kind of fluctuates a little.
Interesting. Well, no, I love that.
Yeah.
You have discipline. That's good.
Yeah, I do. I
That's
have
really
discipline.
good.
And when I started realizing that, I was like, okay, like for the Belle set, I wanted a yellow dress Belle, which I think is probably the worst thing that Disney ever did to us 17-inch collectors, is that they only really there's two dresses in the yellow, and it's one of the first ones, which isn't that great. And then there's the platinum set with the Beast, which they only made 500 of. And back then it was like $750. So not a lot of people have it. And if they do have it now, they paid well over $2,000 to $3,000 for it.
Jeez.
So with that being said, I got this dress customized and I love it. And ever since then I got the blue Alice dress customized and I love that one too. So now I'm more open to that, which is before I wasn't. I wanted it to be like strictly Disney store. And then I realized like, it doesn't have to be that way. You know, you make your collection your own.
Oh, 100%.
Especially,
That's something I see a lot with people, where they get kind of, and it's not a bad thing. Like I totally understand. And I'm going to reference it with the Britney Spears doll just cuz that's what I know best. But a lot of collectors like to just have the official Britney Spears doll and whatever came out with that. Fortunately for me, I do use the Britney Spears doll for whatever I'm making. I don't modify them unless it's like a little eyeliner or whatever. And I think that's been really helpful for me, because people are like, oh, perfect. Because I mean, you could get a beautifully repainted, amazing Britney doll, but you put her next to all the other ones and she's going to look different, right?
yeah.
So that's something I definitely picked up on really quickly, where people have very specific types of collections, and that's totally cool. But it's always fun to see someone realize, ooh, but like you find your own thing and how you want to do it. And I think, I mean, like you said, just getting one character from each film or whatever, it's very, first of all, you're gonna save a lot of money. um and also it's just, it makes sense, and everyone, I love how different all the collectors are. But that's definitely something I noticed really quickly when I started my doll business, is how very specific people can be. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I do love how you
Oh yeah.
unbox them too, because I also I have not unboxed any of my limited edition dolls. I'm so scared to. I don't, and like I've been playing with dolls my whole life. I definitely know how to take care of it and whatnot, but those ones for some, I just will not take them out. So kudos to you because I get scared that I'm going to fuck something up.
Yeah, well, for me, it was like I wanted to take pictures of them and make sets for them to take pictures because I suck at graphic design. So I was like, I need to actually make the set. I can't do this on a computer. So it's obviously it makes it hard to keep it in the box. So I just started to debox them, and I'm happy with that because you get to see them more. I keep the boxes, and if need be, or if whenever I do have enough space, I could put them back in the boxes because the boxes are pretty cool. Sometimes, especially like
Oh yeah.
displaying wise, a lot of people display them in boxes, and they still look good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the boxes are high quality too. I mean, you cannot, these dolls are definitely always worth their price range when they come out, like whatever their original price
Yeah,
range is.
retail.
Their retail price, thank you. Definitely justifiable. But like, I mean, then they just keep going up. Like it's insane. I would love to get an Alice one, but they're just so expensive.
Well, it becomes that's been a very hot topic in the doll Disney community, and I'm sure in any doll community that, if I get a doll and I don't want her anymore and I sell her for triple the price, if you go ahead and buy her, you're giving in to that, and then now
Yeah,
you've set the standard. Okay, now she's triple the price, and someone comes in and pays four times the price, and now you've set that bar. So it's kind of like we as secondhand buyers are also contributing to that because obviously if
100%.
no one is selling it at the triple the price or four or more than what it's worth, then no one's going to sell it and they'll lower down the price and you'll be able to buy it at a lower price. But the fact that it is being sold at a higher price, that just sets the bar. So I feel like we're all equally responsible for that.
100%. And like I said, I spend money on dolls, but I do also try to be like, okay, this is my
Yeah.
limit. This is where I mean, that's why I don't have that Vanessa doll. I'm sure I could get it on Mercari or something and do like payments or whatever. And that makes things a little bit easier, but I'm just not, I can't. And like, if the time is right, the time is right. And I'll find one and be like, all right, I'll do that. But I just haven't yet. And as for deboxing them, I think it looks so cute. Like I love, and I'll put this on the Instagram, like your little display, like cabinet behind you. That looks amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I put them next to the villains, so it's like Belle and Gaston, Cinderella, and maybe Tremaine. So it's like the ones that have villains, which is something that I wish they would make more of.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are there any of them that you, or is there one in particular or two in particular that you haven't gotten around to getting yet, but you plan on getting? Or
Yeah, so I'm only missing out of the ones that are already out. I'm missing Pocahontas and Merida. Merida, I've just been kind of lazy, and I also would need more shelving at this point. So I haven't purchased her yet, but I am. She goes for a pretty decent price. I would want the original one versus the new one that came out. And Pocahontas, I'm kind of hoping that for her anniversary we get a better quality or better or newer doll, and then I'll see which one is more to my liking.
yeah, oh, I'm sure they'll do something for Pocahontas's anniversary. Have they ever done? I should know this, but I don't, and I'm gonna feel so stupid. Have they ever done a big?
No.
Have they ever done a big Ursula?
Yeah, there's a 17 Ursula
Okay.
that came out when the first Ariel came out. I don't know what year that was, but it was like Ariel, Prince Eric, and Ursula. But she has like no arm mobility. Her body's not proportioned right. So she's not like everyone's favorite. She still looks very pretty. And if this year for the D23 anniversary we don't get a new Ursula, then I'll have to get something made or something customized. I would like to have an Ursula. Like I have the old hag and the evil queen, and I wish they would do a dragon, but I'm sure I could get like a big statue of the dragon
Oh,
for
I'm sure.
Maleficent.
Yeah. Which one would you say is your just favorite that you have? Like which one is just like, okay, you are being sent away to a deserted island and you can only bring one of your Disney girls with you. Who would you bring?
It would have to be D23 Snow White.
Okay, very
Yeah.
cool. Do you go to the D23 events ever?
I've never been. I'm gonna try to go this year, but I've never been. But it seems like fun.
Yeah.
It does seem like a very costly, especially like if you live in California, then I'm pretty sure it's not that, you just buy the tickets and go. But for someone who lives in New England, has to fly over there, rent
Yeah,
a hotel. I
pricey.
mean, you make a trip out of it, I'm sure. Yeah, but it could be expensive. Like for that, you might as well pay the resellers and you'll still be saving some money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's on definitely on my bucket list to go to a D23 event as well as a Barbie convention. But I mean, even just getting a ticket for those are sometimes like 500 plus dollars. So I'm not there yet.
Yeah, the tickets could be expensive and then the flight. So it all adds up and you just have to like really think like, okay, what do I really want to go for? If it's just to buy merchandise, then I'll buy it secondhand.
For sure. Is there any limited edition dolls that you really think Disney should do that they haven't done yet? Because I'm sure there's a handful of, I mean, Ursula, you want a new one of those, but is there anything that they've just not done anything of yet that you think that you would like to see?
Yeah, the more villains. I really wanted a Hades. We got a Megara, couple, I think in 2022. And I was really disappointed that we did not get a Hades or even for D23 because Hades is such a well-known villain and character that a lot of people love. And, they made Jafar and Gaston and other villains, male villains, but they just kind of like stopped and they haven't been making any more villains. And that's something like I would love to have like just a set, like not just the princess or the prince, but also the set to go along with it. That's just me. I would also like a Jane from Tarzan. I think that might be happening. I'm not sure. I really hope so. Also, a Mary Poppins from the
Oh,
movie, like the original Mary Poppins movie, because I think the one that they have is the newer one.
okay. Yeah, I think I remember that coming out. I would love them to do Cusco.
Cusco would be cool.
Because he doesn't, have they ever, they've never done like anything for him.
No,
That movie is so
no.
underrated.
It would be nice for them to do an Yzma. I think that would be probably something that they'd actually consider doing for an anniversary because they have done. I think by now there's a couple of 12-inch Yzma dolls, so they would could just use that mold to make a 17-inch one. And I think that would sell really well, as opposed to like other ones that are not. There's some that are still up on the website that've been up on the website for a couple months now.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think in the last 5 years, I've noticed things on Shop Disney being a little bit less exclusive, where it's like, okay, you don't really have to stress that much.
Yeah.
Especially with like their designer dolls that they're doing. But I mean, in my opinion, those have just not been very good lately. I don't know really what's going on with that, but we'll see what happens. But they just have not been my thing. And I noticed just a lot of them were just available for a really obnoxious amount of time where it was like, geez, it used to be like get it now or
Yeah.
sorry, you know?
Yeah, a lot. There was the one that I was mostly surprised with was the bride from the Haunted Mansion, which I have. I just don't have her displayed because I don't really know where to put her or have space. Um, but I thought that she wasn't going to sell out at all. Like I was like, not a lot of Disney doll collectors like the Haunted Mansion or like that's not like a huge character or anything like that. So I feel like when that doll came out, I was super excited because I was like, I love the Haunted Mansion. This is great. This is something completely unique and different that Disney has never done before with the 17-inch dolls. And she sold out instantly.
Hmm.
So I was like
Interesting.
very surprised.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, because it's something new. And I mean, it's just like how many, like I said, it's like because you guys keep doing Annas and Elsas. And not that I'm going to complain too much, but Ariel too gets a lot of love, which I like. I think something I talked with Ian about as well was who we thought probably was the most, who makes the most profit. out of all the Disney princesses, and we decided it was either Anna and Elsa or Ariel because I feel like they're always doing Ariel. Always. Like, I mean, would you agree with that?
Yes,
Yeah.
they for sure. There's like I think by now 22 or 23 Frozen 17-inch dolls. Like there's a doll for every outfit. I love Frozen. I'm not a huge Frozen fan, but there are other dolls that we only have like one or two of, and yet we've gotten literally everything for Frozen. So I was actually shocked that they only came out with one 17-inch Elsa, one 17-inch Anna this year for their anniversary. I was expecting for them to come out with like a bunch of stuff, but I do feel like Disney's kind of cutting back on the 17 inches because before, like, let's say with Aurora, they came out with the wedding set. They came out with a blue dress, a pink dress, Prince Philip, Maleficent. So it was like, you got like an abundance, and you got a set. You got to choose what you wanted versus just like one Mulan,
Mm-hmm.
and you're done.
Right. Yeah,
So
I agree. They need to start bringing out some of those other characters because it's like literally how many Anna and Elsas do you need?
like I would love to see 17-inch stepsisters from Cinderella.
Yeah, that'd be
That
so
I think would
cool.
do really great. Maybe not like a huge number, but a decent enough size I think would do great.
Yeah, agreed. I think, and like you said, villains too. I feel like, especially the adult audience that Disney has. I mean, the people that are buying these expensive high-end dolls are adults. It's not like you don't buy these for an 8-year-old. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do feel like, adults really love. I mean, as kids, you always are scared of the villains, but you grow to appreciate them as you get older. So it is interesting that they don't do that often, and sometimes they'll make them very hard to get. And I mean, like, I guess I got Vanessa like the 12-inch one because they did that pack from the Disney store recently,
Yeah.
like in the last, and I was like, oh, thank God, because before they had done one and you couldn't get it for less than like $500 or something. And it's just like, oh my God, like, why aren't you putting these out more? There's obviously interest in this. And so it's like obviously,
Yeah.
and I mean, Disney is a company, it's a corporation. Their goal is to make money. So it just drives me up the wall when it's like you're missing out on. I mean, first of all, you're disappointing all these fans, but also you guys are stupid. Like you are missing so many opportunities. I mean, yeah, like the Vanessa doll. Let's take her, the 17-inch one. If you guys would have put out another one of those like 2 years later, it would have also sold out. They need to be more
Oh yeah.
consistent with it. And it's just like I don't know why they're not. And I can't imagine that they cost that much to make. So it's not like they're losing money on these. And that's just, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but it's so weird.
Oh yeah, no, they could. That's the thing. Like for me, I know that there's certain characters that they just like Lady Tremaine. I know they won't make another Lady Tremaine. I know they won't make another Vanessa. They won't make another Gaston. They probably won't make another Maleficent because the anniversary is coming is I think already passed for Sleeping Beauty, and all we got for 17-inch was another Aurora with like a different like design dress that I don't think was that great. And for the ones who do think it's great, by all means, I'm happy for you. And that's one thing I've always liked when people really love something. I don't personally have to love it. I'm not going to put it down or talk negative about it. It's just I don't like it, so I'm not going to collect it. Just like with the live action dolls, my thing is that I feel like I'm not buying like the Little Mermaid. I feel like I'm buying like the actress
Yeah.
doll just dressed up as the Little Mermaid. So with any of them, I don't have any of the live action ones just because I feel like I already have the animation ones, and those are the movies that I really love.
I'm always pretty, I mean, I agree with you. Like if someone loves something, like get it. Like that is like whatever. But I am very honest about my opinions. Like with that new Aurora doll, I'm just kind of like, you guys couldn't have figured out a fabric that like changed a little bit, like in the light. There's definitely fabrics like that. Why it looks so, it's just not, for me, it's not that great. I just wish they would have found a fabric that like what if you like turned it and from different angles it kind
Yeah.
of had a different shade. I do not like what they did with it. The doll itself is beautiful. I think Aurora always looks phenomenal, especially when she's bigger. I wish they would have done her like outfit when she's in the woods, because I feel like you don't see that very often. Do you know what I'm talking about?
There is one, I forgot what it's called, but like her village outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is one that's really pretty as well. But yeah, I agree. I would have even liked maybe like a green dress Aurora. Just give us something different, but not that different. I don't know.
No, I get it. I
That
get it.
dress just doesn't, it feels lazy.
It just, to me, it looks awkward. I just, it's not, I get what they were trying to do, but like I said, there's different fabric options that you could have done to make this look better. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to see them do Ariel and her blue dress. Like what, like
Yeah.
they never do that. So it is interesting how they pick and choose what they're going to do. And sometimes I'm literally like, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah. I mean, that might be something that comes out this year for the anniversary, probably D23 exclusive.
Does The Little Mermaid have an anniversary this year?
Yeah, I believe so.
I feel like
Because the
it's just
last anniversary
always.
was 2019. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Since we're talking about The Little Mermaid, I mean, I don't know how much of the show you have listened to, but I was very, very excited for that movie this summer. And like the hype around that movie was insane. I bought everything before I even saw the freaking movie. And I have to tell you, and I've been getting good, ever since. I mean, at first I was very like, okay, I have to be positive about this. And when I'm reviewing the movie, I have to be nice. And I guess I just didn't want to admit to myself that it's not great.
unfortunately, I agree with you. I don't,
I was
the
so
live action
bummed.
movies, yeah, the live action movies just don't. I do have some of the 12-inch Little Mermaid merchandise of the live action ones. Just because I thought, I was like, this is like a new thing. Like this is totally different. And, I'm collecting now, so might as well have them, but they're in a box somewhere because I just don't display them. Like I don't, and I don't have space to display them here now. But yeah, the live action, it was good. I feel like you have to separate what and just see it as a whole new movie.
Which is very hard for
But it's
me.
so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard for all of us that are like in our, late 20s, early 30s, or late 30s, that grew up with the animation, loving it, watching it over and over again. And then we kind of expect like, okay, you're just going to bring that into live action, which I feel like the one that is closest to the animation would be Cinderella live action.
I've seen them all at least once, but I don't really remember that. I know that in The Little Mermaid, I do think I mean, there was a lot of shots that were exactly the same,
Yeah.
but I feel like when they do these live action movies, first of all, yes, they're never that great. And I think it is because people are so attached to the original. I just feel like they're better though when they do kind of change it, like go off script instead of just copying the movie exactly how it was. And first of all, I think The Little Mermaid was too long, just way too long. It's like it's just too lengthy for me. I also feel like they didn't add anything to it. I really wish they would have just kind of given us more background information that's not in the first film. I would love to have gotten, confirmation or whatever you want to call it about Ursula and Triton and how all that went, like how that started. I'm also, I mean, I will say this until the day I die. I am so pissed that the sisters had no relevance in the movie whatsoever. You could have literally taken them out and it wouldn't have made a difference. And I was so shocked by that because they pushed merch for the sisters like crazy and they got nothing in the movie. And if we want to talk about dolls that Disney should be doing more, I really wish they would do a big set, maybe not a 17-inch because that would be thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, but like a pack of Ariel's original sisters in 12-inch form. They've never done that before, I don't think. They have like the littler ones.
Yeah, they
Uh,
have the small ones.
mhm.
That would be cool. That would sell out instantly, probably.
Yeah, and I would love to have that. But I know this is about dolls, but I mean, I cannot tell you just like how. I mean, and I spent hundreds of dollars on dolls. I bought the big sister pack for the live action. I bought all the little plushies. I bought everything because I was like, oh, there's no way this movie is gonna suck. And it took me, like I said, it took me a little while to really accept it. I watched it a couple months ago again with my friend, and I was like, oh my God, is this over yet? Like, I don't want to finish this. So just sorry to go on a
Yeah.
tangent. I'm such a Little
No.
Mermaid fan that I was just like, this is like, honestly, I will say it's better than some of the other ones. Like, I thought Aladdin was a tragedy.
It was, and I love Aladdin.
Me
Like I
too.
grew up on Aladdin, and I was really hoping that it was gonna be magical. And I think for me, there was no magic in the movie
It's
at
just
all.
it's
And I
so
don't know if it's
flat.
because it was missing Robin Williams, because that's like one voice that you could hear and you'd be like Genie, like right off the bat. The first thing that comes to any Disney person, anyone who loves Disney, they hear Robin Williams and they think of the Genie. And obviously, he's no longer around, fortunately, so they couldn't get him. But and Will Smith did an okay job, but again, just missing the magic. And I do have to say real quickly that you're right when it comes to like a movie like Maleficent. We got so much. I don't think we needed a Maleficent 2, but we got a backstory on Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's not like, now we understand why she was a villain. Cruella, we understand, where she's coming from. We didn't get that in 101 Dalmatians. We didn't get that in Sleeping Beauty. We just got the villain. And they gave it more of a storyline, which made the movie more interesting. And oddly enough, there is not a 17-inch Maleficent doll.
Oh, really?
Which that would have been a cool one, especially because it's Angelina Jolie. But yeah, there is not a 17-inch Maleficent doll. They
Interesting.
have a Cruella 17-inch doll,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like for every movie, they don't have a live action Aurora doll either.
Do they have a genie?
So no.
Interesting.
That would be a cool one. That would be one. I thought that I think the anniversary was last year, and I thought that they were going to do that, and they gave us our purple Jasmine in a purple dress, which she's cute. I don't, I have the original one, and I'm happy with that one. I'm satisfied. And like with the Aurora now, the only reason why I would get her would probably be to just have the doll and put her in the old dress, because I feel like the old dress is way nicer than the new one, but I feel like I still can't justify that.
No, I get it. I just have a couple more questions. So I don't, I usually, I mean, the doll community is so good about letting people know when things are coming out. But I feel like lately my whole algorithm has been geared towards Barbie, which is great. You know, no complaints there, but I feel like my Disney, I'm sure it'll go up once gets rolling and I'm promoting it and whatever.
Yeah.
But is there any like limited edition Disney dolls coming out that you can talk about that you're excited about, or is like because I know Aurora just came out and I don't know anything else that is going on with the brand right now.
Not really. I haven't the same. I haven't really seen much of any or heard anything coming out. We're into the new year, so we're thinking anniversary wise. I think a lot of people are hinting that there might be Mary Poppins from the original one coming up, just because of some face sculpts that have been coming out online that they feel like, oh, maybe this is this person. But I like to wait for like the official announcement to come out, because you never really know. You hear things and you see things, and until it's real, like you just kind of like give up hope then. So I'm excited for D23. I think it's going to be a good year for D23. I think we got possibly a Jane from Tarzan, possibly Ariel. So and hopefully an Ursula, in my opinion. But it's exciting to like know that there's going to be stuff coming out. And last year, I think it was pretty strong, and it ended pretty strong with the Frozen set because a lot of people wanted that Elsa, Snow Queen Elsa. You know, we got a Mulan, we got a Tinkerbell, which we weren't really thinking about, which I do have. She's somewhere.
Somewhere.
I'm kind of customizing something for her now. So that was, I feel like the more they surprise us, the better. And I'm just sit back and wait for the surprise type of person.
Yeah, no, I get that totally. And also it's just like why get excited for something if it might not be coming? Because that would suck.
Yeah.
So my last real question, I guess, is like aside from these, do you collect any other dolls currently? Are you ever, I mean, was there anything else that you're buying or you're looking into buying?
Just the Funko Pops, and I pretty much, and then like other like Disney merchandise that's more like life size, like the Beauty and the Beast life size like stuff, and just like whatever I find that it's like fun and that I like and that I have room for, I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and buy it. But I actually had the Britney Spears dolls, the first ones that came out. I remember, and I had the Spice Girls dolls as well.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of Funko Pops as well, isn't it so crazy that they have not done the Spice Girls yet?
That it's probably a licensing issue,
For
because
sure.
they have to get the license, and I'm pretty sure it's just like a matter of time, because they already got In Sync, I think, and I think they
And
have Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys.
Boys.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure that that's one of those that's like either in the works or about to be in the works. They have a couple of Britney Spears ones,
Oh, yeah.
and now with Mariah Carey, they have a couple of those,
Here, let me see if I
and
can. I have like a bunch of mine up here, but
oh yeah,
I have them like everywhere, everywhere.
yeah.
And I'm super happy that they did so many Britney Spears ones. Like I have them all, and
Yeah.
I think they're done with her now because I mean there's like 7 or 8 of them, but I did notice Mariah Carey's getting a few, but I'm like the Spice Girls are always like putting their licensing out there, and I'm like just so surprised it hasn't happened yet. I hope so. I will buy those up real quick. I've been a lot better with the Funko Pops. Because when I tell you, I used to be, I don't know, I had an ex boyfriend who got me into them. And I mean, at one point, I had all the Harry Potter ones. And
Yep.
like,
I had all the Harry Potter.
I sold a lot of them because I was just like, I like don't. I mean, once the Britney one came out, I was like, okay, well, I don't care about any of these, you know?
I have a lot more in the basement, but
Yeah,
I don't know
I
where
mean,
my.
I must have over 100 of them. Just if they're, I mean, because they
Yeah.
are literally everywhere in my house. I just got the Daria ones. I was really excited about
Oh
those.
yeah.
I have Batman ones. Like I mean, I just need
Yeah.
Spice Girls, and then literally, I think I've got like all the cool. I have so many Star Wars ones. I mean, I just need that, or I just need Spice Girls, so I can be like, whew, because uh I have a ton of them. I'm just like, I can't even believe they haven't done Spice Girls yet. But all right, well, Lazaro, I really appreciate this. I think people are going to love this. Everyone loves Disney in in one way or another, and just talking about these beautiful dolls is just so much fun for me. I love it when new ones come out, and I love seeing people's reviews on them. And I mean, I can't afford to buy them all, so it is nice to see when people will unbox them for you and like show you all the details,
Yeah.
and just makes me wish I was a rich person. But where can everyone find you on the internet?
I am on Instagram, a dose of Disney. Please follow and like my content. I'll try to put out as much as I can and show my collection and also show my crafting skills. If you want to call it crafting skills or just hot gluing together.
I love hot glue.
Um, yeah, that's my best friend. I want to say also real quick, I forgot that I have the evil. I'm not the evil queen. The Queen of Hearts is from Super Seven, and they did a pretty, as you could see, it's like a pretty decent size compared to the 17-inch. She's 19 inches, and it is like cloth. She doesn't have real hair though, but
Mm.
I feel like that is way better than the old Queen of Hearts that they have. So if Disney's not doing it, someone else is going to be justifying it, and maybe they'll do an Ursula when the anniversary comes out.
Oh, for sure. I've seen a bunch of ads for that where I'm like, where is this? Where this isn't okay. I've definitely seen that. Yeah, she looks great. I love it.
Yeah, I felt like when I first saw it, I was like, "Yep, this is going to be it," because I knew Disney wasn't going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, shit
Yeah.
happens. They need to get their priorities straight. They really need to just interview
Yep.
like a bunch of fans and be like, what do you want? And it's like, no more of these designer things. Quit doing the same shit over and over and over again, and we'll be good. It's not that difficult.
Get one of us to work in there.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe not me. I'm not well versed, but you for sure, for sure. But thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, and we'll have to keep in touch.
Yep. Thank you for having me. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it, and it was a great time.
Yay. Okay. So I love talking Disney. That was so much fun. Lazaro, thank you so much again for being on the show. Everyone, please go check out his Instagram and give him a follow. Just look up A Dose of Disney. One thing I wanted to add in here before I go is so I do feel like, this is a podcast. I feel like as a doll collector, a serious doll collector, like, I think giving critiques to dolls is super fair. I mean, at the end of the day, I still love them. And so I do feel like I was pretty harsh on that Aurora 17-inch doll that was coming out or that had come out. So I have to say, though, I actually saw that doll in person when I was at the doll show, and she's pretty amazing. She is. The fabric, the photos do not do this doll justice. The fabric really does change tints. And so I will try and be a little more careful to judge something so quickly if I've only seen stock photos. And I mean, especially because I always talk about how stock photos can be pretty misleading. That doll is actually not bad. And honestly, I kind of want her. I'm just, I can't, but it's fine. But yeah, that was so much fun. I love Disney, always will. And sticking to what I said in the intro, I said a few that of the 17-inch dolls that I'd like them to do, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, my number one vote now is the fairy godmother from Cinderella. I think that would be so cool. All right, so next time on the Iconic Dollcast, I am talking with Chris, who runs the Instagram, TikTok accounts, The Doll Studio by Chris, and he is a big American Girl fan, just like me. I would say he's a little bit more. He's got tons of American Girl dolls, but we are going to continue criticizing doll brands just a little bit. And again, I think that's fair. We are going to talk about the kind of decline of American Girl and its appreciation and attention to their historical figures, which I think is just an absolute tragedy. And it was really fun talking with Chris. We grew up in really different eras. I'm definitely strictly classic American Girl, original historical figures, with the exception of the Ariel and Barbie that I bought. But that's what I really love about American Girl, and I think he does too, for sure. But he is also really into like the Truly Me dolls, and he has like a huge American Girl dollhouse in his home, and it's incredible. But just fair warning you, we do criticize the brand pretty well, I think. But we still love American Girl at the end of the day. So that's what's most important. So that episode will be coming out in 2 weeks on April 22nd. But that's all I have for you today. Please, if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, Britney Spears Custom Dolls, or TikTok, Britney Spears Dolls. And I will talk with you guys next time.